with Borg grinding becoming more of an activity that needs to be done on a daily basis, if you want to join the Borg Solo Armada Loop, what crews could you actually use? Well, actually, there is a fair few. So why don't we explore a few of them in this video today? I'm Admiral Pegasus, and this is Star Trek Fleet Command. Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now, just before we jump into game, yes, I've taken off my glasses because I noticed there was quite a big glare, and if I got close enough to the camera, I could actually see myself in my own glasses, so I thought I'd take them off. Secondly, I also want to address a comment in the Borg Loop video. Firstly, I'm not a teacher. I never went to university. So, what do I need to learn to teach? Well, I'm not teaching. I'm quite happy to receive constructive criticism about my videos. Anything somebody might want to see improved on my videos, I'm quite happy to deal with that. Any different kind of crew formations that you would like me to include or look at as well, I'm quite happy to also see them. But telling me to learn before I teach, well, I'm not teaching. All I do is tell you what I know, what I found out, and it may not be everything. There might be some bits missing. So, there it is. Now, I'm going to jump into game, and believe it or not, I'm actually going to show you some screenshots from the crew format as well, put into the comments on the same video. So, let's jump into game. Okay, so here we are in game, and that's the formation that was suggested to me. 5 in command, 4 Antalan. And obviously, why would we do that? Well, for simple reason, we need to increase cargo capacity. And obviously, 4 of 11 does increase cargo capacity. So I thought I'd give this a run. And I did actually go through and do quite a few runs with this, as you can see by my cargo status. Now, my cargo is whoppingly boosted to 611,000, which is in the same amount for me, because obviously I've never got my cargo to that high without putting a full cargo crew on it. But then again, I would never send a cargo crew up against one of these. I'd only use it in raiding. So, as much as he's boosted my cargo, sadly, I did not actually fill my cargo bay. And I did actually fill my below deck, as mentioned, with complete health stats. Yes. There you go. That's the crew I put on the ship, and my health stats was as max as I could get them, and I still could not fill my cargo bay. So it was a good crew. Now, would it work for an Ops 42 or maybe lower? No, I don't think it does, in my personal opinion. But for a higher Ops player, yeah, I could actually see this working on a Vadar at 2.2 million or higher. So if you want to explore this possibility, I mean, feel free to try it if you will. I mean, it's entirely your discretion. It's your gameplay. Me, I would never. I did this because the formation was given to me, so I gave it a test run. But I would never use a mining officer on a combat ship unless I'm raiding a base. It is the only time I would use miners on combat ships. He's a mining officer, and that's where he belongs. So now with that looked at, to me it goes about how much cargo with the new loop. Obviously it goes on how much cargo you can actually put in your loop. And there you go. Like I said, I did run a few tests using that. I even killed an assimilated trader in it with it as well, so that was also good. So I've got an extra key on that one. But no, I did kill a fair few. I will give it true. It wasn't particularly too bad, because obviously I did kill a fair few. But that's it. So obviously, yeah, that victory, I think that was the first one, or was that a different loadout? I think that might have been, yeah, that was the first one. So, and obviously the battle log, to be honest, right, even in the battle log, it's not particularly too bad. It's only 3 rounds. I think for me to end up with less cargo than I would normally run, yeah, I'd probably either the hostile hit more criticals, or on occasion I went 4 rounds. So that's the only thing I can think of. Sorry, I'm very parched tonight. Now, so that was that crew. Now, would I run that again? No, not a chance. But it's your decision. Okay, and remember, all these are based on what you want to do. It's your gameplay. You choose it. Obviously, I'm doing this video because somebody asked me, what officers do you use? Well, for simple reasons, you don't use that. However, I did use this for the PvP meta, and I managed to get 5 straight kills. And what did I do? Well, I put the stats on the bottom. As you can see, health was the biggest stat on this one, and that is because of Captain Tilly's officer ability. So, and obviously I had Garrick on as well. Yes, you could say you could replace him with Honor Guard Worf, who's at 50% for 8 rounds. But if I've got Hull Bridge continuing, I'd rather have that 30% each round. More chance. Who knows? But, so I was actually laughing as I got more. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about PvE. So, let's start off here. Now, everyone knows this formation. And you will also know this formation. Yes. Now, you can use both these formations if you have a lower level Vidar. I have a tier 9 Vidar, or I have 2 tier 9 Vidars. But if you've got a lower level tier Vidar, obviously you're entering the Borg loop. Now, obviously the Vidars are launched at Shipyard 26, if I remember correctly. And obviously you've got to build them up. And you're going to need charged nanoprobes for that. So obviously you've got to keep grinding the Borg. So where do you normally start? Well, you start with the best PvE crew that you can possibly muster. If you've got the opportunity to run this in the early days of your Vidar, you are golden. Yes, you are golden. If not, then I'd probably recommend running your cadet crew or your TNG crew, whichever one was beneficial for you. They won't kill as many, but they're still just as good. But as well, it does go on how high Chen and Talon are. Or you can also replace Talon with Kath. Yes, because Kath will do the exact same thing as Talon. She is better at it from tier 4 upwards. So if you can get to a tier 4 Kath, you run in with it. But if not, now, I will just say that there was a chart come out, pardon me, about what crews best to use on your Vidar. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to find it for a while. But the one thing is, the level 29 Borg probes, that's the formation you ideally want. And obviously, you need to build up your health stats below deck. Now, all these over here, both the defense, attack, and health, need to be at 350%. If you can get it there. If you've only got a couple of slots, the chances are you're not going to be able to, unless your officers are very high. But if you are a lower ops level, that's going to be nigh on impossible. You're going to need 3, maybe 4 slots just to reach that 350. Once you get that 350, you're fine. If anything, you definitely want to be looking at is making sure that your health is at 350%. Just make sure it's at that and you're fine. Well, you're not fine, but you stand a better chance because it is all about health. Now, getting all 3 of those stats to 350% would greatly benefit you as a player. But that is my opinion. That is my opinion. And that is what I found through my gameplay. So, now, there are other crew formations as well. So, if we go... Not there. So, if we go here, yes, I'm going to use the Franklin A as an idea here, because I want to address another crew, which was actually suggested to me by my Alliance Admiral. And I find this crew absolutely brilliant. Now, yes, by the time I'm done, I'm nearly dead. Where are you? Oh, this is going to be one of those ones where it's going to really do my nutting, isn't it? So, right. And she's not even down there. Right, so we'll do... Right, there she is. Put her below deck for a second. Right. Okay, so now this is the crew loadout that my Alliance Admiral suggested to me, and also, believe it or not, I've had it also suggested by a couple of other people as well. So, and they're running this and finding it's very useful. It's boosting my Vidar's cargo capacity with Lalon, and it's also utilising the strengths of Strange New Worlds Una, which is a X% boost to shield deflection and dodge and armor the total attack of your lower deck of your ship, when attacking battleships from an interceptor. Well, your Vidar is an interceptor, and it goes against the Borg, which are battleships. So that's where you're looking. Now, as I was saying, you need to get this to 350%. So that's going to come down to how you want to load out. Now, you start off first as normal with, I believe I'm on ship Biana, so we'll put him back on. And then I'll go for an attack officer, so Barot, to 315. Then I'm going to look at a defense officer as well. We'll put Grush in there because he's across the board. As you can see, 350, 315, 350. I need one more defense officer. There we go. Now I'm going to turn my attention to what Strange New Worlds Una needs, because, well, to be honest, 5 of 11, she just increases your cargo, so increases the amount of loot you gain from a hostile, so that doesn't need any particular stats. When fighting hostiles, Pike decreases hostile shield mitigation by 10%. Obviously, is 5%. 5% plus the... Actually, no, I ain't got the synergy in yet, have I? So there's 10%, and obviously with the synergy, that's going to be 15%. But again, does not require any officer stats. Its captain's ability, when fighting hostiles, it increases your shield mitigation by 9%. Again, that's not going to require any stats. So the only person who's going to require a specific stat here is going to be Strange New Worlds Una. Hence the reason why I look at attack, and that's where we're going to focus. Next we'll put Krass, and we'll put Khan on there, and there we go. My attack bonus now is just under 30,000. Now watch out for these stacking officers, because you will need to stack stats. Beverly is also going to be the same. We're using Picard, Beverly, Chen. You're going to have to make sure you can stack stacks. If you can't stack stacks, to be honest, those loadouts are probably not going to be the best ones for you. But again, that's for you to find out. I can only give you my advice on that one. Now, there was another crew loadout that was suggested, and I will point out that one we showed you earlier that I said doesn't even fill your cargo bay. They also did say if you've got Hemner, would Hemner make much of a difference of it? I might have got an extra 3 or 4 kills at best. That's it. So no, I still would not have filled my cargo bay. Now this next one is also going to require on a low deck officer, which I do not have, because I did run this one, and unfortunately I don't have any battle logs to show it neither. But big shout out to Wolf and Ryder off my server from the UNIA Alliance, who literally just dropped this to me saying run this crew, and he told me how to have it laid out. So let's put 5 in command, because this is literally a Borg group. Yes. So this will be another one you could use. Here you have full synergy for 5 of 11, which is going to be a massive boost to a 200%, which is going to give you a 1000% increase of shield deflection, armor, and dodge. The health of your crew. Yes, their health, and we'll look at that in just a minute. And then obviously you've got 7 of 11, who also boosts the health of your crew as well by 90%. That's his officer's ability. And then again, you're going to have the 511 increases the defense of every officer on the ship by 75%. So that also improves like your defensive capabilities. Now, how would we load out below deck here? Well, for one, we're going to leave Elan in. 2, we're going to select below deck ability. Now, forget it. Forget it. That one's PvP, if I remember correctly, for below deck. He's warp speed. Barclay, forget it. You don't want him. He's protected cargo. So, where do we start? We start with Tindy. Hull health boost. Yes, hull health boost. Sam, shield health boost. Badgie. Yeah, okay. Bulmer. And then, like I said, Mariner Beckett. And then he did say to me, 1 or 2 health officers. Now, as you can see, my whole health is actually pretty shocking. And again, did this work for me? No, it didn't work for me. It was a good loadout. It's a good option. We're certainly not using any mining crew. Would Mariner have been an effective for me? Yes. But again, the Wolfram Rider is a level 44 player, and he's got a lot more officer stats, and his lower decks are probably a high. I looked quickly through his low decks. His Mariner was at 95%, whereas mine, if I had her, is only at 70%. So again, not something I could use. But what I can do is I can stick a couple of health officers on, and boom, I've got health and defense, which is pretty much 7 and 9. So yeah. So that is another loadout that you can potentially look at. Now, there is another option you could go with if you want to. Again, we're going to bring back the Strange New Worlds crew, but this time we're going to go full group. So we need Una, and this time Lalan. Now, I'm putting them on the bridge. 1, you've just lost your cargo increasing stat. Yeah, you've just lost it. 2, you're going to survive with roughly about 15 to 20% hull on a full 495.9 thousand cargo hold. Yes, you're going to survive with quite a bit of hull, which is a bonus. So, where do we go with there? Well, to be perfectly honest, right, there are 2 other officers that you could potentially look at adding. So, we need to go out of there, and we need to go across to here. We need to scroll all the way down. And believe it or not, both these officers are epics. Here, Strange New Worlds Una and Strange New Worlds Hemner. Now, like I said, I don't have Hemner, so I couldn't even use him on the last ability. But let's have a quick look. And his officers is below deck is increasing all officer health. Increase the health of all officers on the ship by 70% of their base value. So remember, this is base level. This does not include all the officer bonus research you're going to have, including the academies. It does not take, it's not affected. Hemner does not affect that all that research and the academy. He just literally 144 over there on his stats. If you quickly look at his stats, he'll literally add 70% to that. Then your academy goes on, or your research, and that's how he builds. Actually, I said health, so it's the 96, sorry, not the 144. Got that wrong, stupid me. 96. So again, that's even smaller. So it's not really much of a boost, really. So that is Hemner below deck. Now, you can put him on your bridge. But again, This is not going to help you in any way, shape or form. For the simple fact is, this is against survey ships, increasing your mitigation by 800%, the total health of your ship when in combat against surveys. So again, it's not going to be a bonus. So why are you asking, would I put him with Pike and Uhura? Because next to his strength is the engineering symbol. That's the other one to help give Pike full synergy. This is basically going for full synergy. What does Lalanne provide? Well, all she provides, let's have a quick look at Lalanne. And we've got to scroll up a wee little bit. There we go. What's she going to provide as an officer? Warp speed. That's it. She basically means your Vidar is flying a little bit faster. That's it. She's more ideal as a below deck. But you're putting her on the bridge with Una and Pike for synergy. Because synergy is a big thing. The better your synergy, the better your captain performs. So, and yeah. Now, the other officer, obviously, I mentioned was Una. Again, now this one is not a low deck officer. She's full on bridge, but sticking her next to Pike, okay, yeah, has that little bit of a bonus for the Vidar, because she's going to make it go just that little bit faster. Woohoo! More speed! But it's synergy, because she's an engineering officer, despite the fact that she's actually the first officer of the Enterprise under Pike, so technically she's a command officer. Scopely decided to make her an engineering officer. Now, obviously, if you put her in command, when fighting hostiles, she increases base weapon damage by 100%. So basically taking your 2,000 base damage and making it 4,000. But again, you won't be putting her on the in the captain's seat anyway. Not with Pike. So, yeah. Again, it's synergy that you're looking for. So, now, I'm just trying to think, is there any other crews I have actually missed with the Vidar? So we've mentioned the cadet crew, the TNG crew. Obviously, by the time you get the Vidar, they might be a distant memory. We've done PMC, we've done PMT, we've done PM Cath, we've looked at Pike, Picard and Beverly with the 3 officers. Just a quick mention about making sure you're able to stack stats. So, yeah, they'll be alright on a Vidar, a tier 9 Vidar. Yeah, not a problem. A tier 4 Vidar, maybe? You might be able to get enough stats, just. But yeah. And I really can't think of any other crews at the minute that we could actually use. Let's have a think. What about your... Oh, no, you need to be on the Franklin with her. She's purely a Franklin ship. A Franklin officer. Is mine tier 2? Oh, she's a tier 2. I didn't realise that. Khan could be another one you might want to throw in there somewhere. Increasing critical chances. Maybe. But then again, some of the fights I'm in are not going past 3 rounds, so really he's not having much chance to actually become effective, because it takes him around about 5 to 8 rounds to actually become effective. Will Charvenet, maybe, I don't know where she is. Charvenet might be a good one as well. Increases armor piercing by 800%. Obviously maxed out, she's 1600%. The total health of the crew, so maybe you could stick her on with 5 and 7, maybe, as an idea. So she might, Because obviously she's good against battleships. So maybe for like high level Vidars wanting to come down and smack these level 33s, she might provide you a bonus. So, but yeah. Could, I think, Decius be another one? Every time ship gets hit by a weapon attack, Decius increases weapon damage by 10%. So, yeah, again, possibility, but again, mine's maxed. So it comes down to the officers, the level of your officers as well. Because obviously, there's no point me saying, oh yeah, use this crew, oh yeah, use this crew. If your officers are actually worse than mine. Okay, right. In a nutshell, the easiest crew that I would say to use... Why are we swapping ships? That one. If you're below level 20... If you're below 20... If you've got to kill below level 29... If you've got to go higher, then I would definitely recommend... Where are you? This is the downside to this sometimes. I definitely recommend that one for 29, for level 29s and then 33s as well. Because this one does outperform PMC. I won't lie, it does outperform. But again, depending on the tier of your Vidar, hence mine's tier 9, level of your officers, Talon's maxed, Pike is tier 4, Lalon is also tier 4. So I've got some good synergy going on this. My mitigation is, the amount of mitigation I can put out literally is, it's already max mitigation. So I don't need to worry too much. But yeah, that's literally it. So now we do have 2 new officers also coming into the game. And I'm going to say again that these will probably more benefit the high level Vidars. The high level ones. Your first one obviously is going to be Hugh. And again, don't put them on the bridge. My best recommendation would be not put them on the bridge. But again, your choice. Below deck. 45% chance to increase critical hit chance by 25% for 2 rounds after being hit. This ability can stack. Weapons with multiple shots only trigger the ability once. So, if you have one weapon that fires 3 shots, that's 25%. However, if you have 3 weapons firing 1 shot each, that's 75%. That is a boost and a half. That's pretty much on top of your critical chance already. You're pretty much hitting criticals constantly all the way. And the best bit is, you can use this in Borg Solo Armadas as well, should you want. So it's not confined to just being on the Vidar. You can stick him on any ship in the Borg Solo Armadas. Here's his officer ability, just to throw it in there. Increases impulse speed by 5%. Whee! So that's Hugh for you. Again, I'd definitely say lower deck. And next up is Galanar. We've got the meta coming up as well, where the chance you got a chance to get some shards for him. As you can see, I'm already at 13. So I'm well on my way. I've got a funny feeling he's going to be unlocked before the end of the arc for me. And the chances are, if you've been doing the missions, if you've been doing the... the events where they're paying out a single shard of it, you'll be looking, oh mate, 2 shards, some of them. But again, below deck. Now, he's a bit more niche than Hugh, but to be perfectly honest, not that much. Because he is aimed at specific hostiles. Actian Apex hostiles, which is the Interceptors, not the Actian Chrysalis. Watch out for that one. Actian Apex, the Interceptors. And obviously Borg hostiles. Now, it's not very specific on Borg hostiles, so that could potentially mean something like you're throwing 5 on for your loot increase out of those Solo Armadas. he's going to give you another 10% on top of that. But actually, not 10% on top of it, 10% below it. Yeah, because he's a base value. So just bear that in mind. Again, and he does have an officer ability. Gains faction reputation, so you can put him on the bridge of your ship should you wish to gain some reputation. It might be ideal for things like your PvE grinding in faction territories to get your reputation up. Wouldn't recommend sending him into the capital systems. I mean, a 5% gain, yeah, alright then. But I wouldn't recommend putting him there, but he is ideal for your below deck. So, here's one that can increase your cargo, increase how much loot you get. So basically, he's going to be like your speed loot. Pair him up with Strange New Worlds Pike, Strange New Worlds Una, 5 of 11, him below deck, Lalan below deck, max stats as best you can. You're going to get through your grind a bit quicker because of 5 of 11 and Galanar, and you're not going to be killing as many. Your survivability is going to be a little bit better. So now I will show you the battle log with the crew I do normally use. There you go. There's me battles for the Vidar PvP. I think I won 8 and lost 3, which is not particularly too bad. So what's this one? Oh, that's the right. So that's the crew. So we've got to go all the way down here to when I last took on the Borg tactical probes. Here you go. I tell you what, let's do that. Full cargo, about 1.5%, 1.5 to 2% all left. Killing them. It's not much hull left. 12.3 thousand hull left, right? From a 1.01 million hull, right? Full cargo, and we'll go to the. What we'll do is go to the battle just before it. 568,000, and what have I got below deck? I've got Lalan. Yeah, I've got Lalan below deck. So, to me, it's a no-brainer. But again, it's entirely up to you what you do. You don't have to go with any of what I've suggested. Play around with formations. See what you can find. If you can find a better crew that can do better than any of the ones that I've got, please let me know. I'd love to see them. I'd love to try them out as well. So, I'm not above changing. I mean, I was constantly running Strange New Worlds Pie, Una and Lalan on the bridge until I got told about change Lalan for 511, put Lalan below deck. I boosted my cargo capacity. Yes, I took more damage. But, so what? And a little extra titanium on my repair bill. But I walked away with a full cargo. And bearing in mind that with these new these new charged nanoprobes, inert nanoprobes converted into charged nanoprobes, when you're needing 1 million to do your solo armadas, independent credits, faction reputation or faction credits, without Lalan below deck, I'm looking at 2 runs. Now, yes, you can put Ston. You can put 5 of 11. Hell, Ston or 4 of 11, sorry, are used on the Mantis to increase your cargo so you can get more. I don't use them. But I have seen it used, and I've seen players use them. I've seen people flying around in the Mantis with PMC, and I'm sat there thinking, why? Why are you using that? But it's not my gameplay. It's not up to me what crew everyone runs. The only time I put my foot down about crew, and it's going to be aimed at my alliance, is the Borg Mega Cube. That is the only time I put my foot down. No, you run these specific crews, guarantee yourself a win. Don't take any chances. But when it comes to Borg grinding in the tactical probes, you know what? See what works for you at the end of the day. Yes, I've got some options. I've fired you some options. I've been given some options. They work for certain players, but they don't for others, because it goes on research, it goes on what level you've got those levels. The below deck crew could actually be very valuable against these tactical probes as well. But again, tier 1, tier 2, are they very effective? Well, not really. Have you got them all? No? Well, in that case then, I probably won't go it. So, now if I had Mariner, the chance of that formation of 579 with the lower decks and 2 health officers would have probably been actually fairly beneficial. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, all your likes and subscribes let me know how I'm doing as a baby content creator. So, but anyway, I better skedaddle. I got a dog to walk and a video to render. So, stay safe, live long and prosper, and I shall catch you on the next video. Goodbye.